Hello and welcome to the Scatterful channel, and today it is my mission to show you guys what are the best Black Friday deals right now on Newegg.com. I spent the last 5 hours digging through their website, finding out what I think are legitimate Black Friday deals. Not items that are just on a nice discount, but deals that genuinely shocked me and I have not seen at these low of prices throughout the whole year. So if you're looking to spring on a purchase right now on some PC hardware, then I think everything I'm gonna show you guys in this video is worth picking up. So with that said, links to everything and all of these deals can be found in the description below, and I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. So I'm gonna rank all of these deals based off of how shocked I was when I saw their prices. So that's kind of how we're gonna go off with this video. And the section you guys probably wanna see first are graphics cards. And don't worry, there are some good graphics card deals. If you guys want to take advantage of any of the Black Friday graphics card deals I'm literally about to show you guys, then I highly suggest you look at Newegg's GPU Trade program, where you can send in your old graphics card and receive credit in store for a new graphics card upgrade. So if you want to check out that program, I'll have that linked in the description below alongside all these other Black Friday deals. Starting off with the one that shocked me the most, and that is that you can pick up an Acer Predator Bifrost Arc A770 with 16 gigabytes of VRAM for $250. Like, okay, to show you how ludicrous that deal is, that Acer Predator Bifrost is the highest end Arc A770 you can get, and it is right now the cheapest. For reference, this has a boost clock of 2200 megahertz, and this has a boost clock of 2400 megahertz. It is the fastest ARC graphics card you can currently purchase, and it is the cheapest one for that A770 16 gigabyte format. And I don't know how Intel's gonna make a profit margin off of that, but bless their hearts, because it is an incredible deal, and it goes further with the A750. Here's a Sparkle Titan OC edition with 3 fans. Once again, you can pick this up for $180, and it is the fastest version of the A750. Its boost clock is, oh man, doesn't even list it? It's got a boost clock of 2300 megahertz. Need I say more? So yes, 2 excellent Intel Arc graphics card deals, and I can say for certain that Intel brought it this Black Friday with some really deep discounts. So I think it's worth taking a plunge if you want a graphics card that could potentially age really well over time with better driver updates from Intel, and you don't mind doing a little bit of troubleshooting here and there if you wanted to play a new game that maybe doesn't run the best on one of these ARC graphics cards. But the prices are pretty hard to ignore. Oh, but I've got something for you guys who want something that's cheap, and that is that I found out that ASRock is making a Radeon RX 5600 XT in 2023 for $110. That's a very sensible price. The 5600 XT, for reference, is faster than an RTX 2060. Yeah, brand new, triple fan cooler design, $110. I'll take it. That's an excellent 1080p gaming graphics card right there if you want something that's gonna be a leap up from an RX 580 or any entry-level GTX 1650, 1050, 750, whatever. And this is the other deal that really shocked me, and this one's a bit higher up in the price category. This is an ASRock Radeon RX 6800 XT for $450. Bruh, like, I was expecting this at lowest to hit $460. And here you have the Phantom Gaming version of the 6800 XT for $450. Wow, this is probably a better buy than the 7800 XT for 50 bucks more, for sure. Yeah, put a nice undervolt on that 6800 XT and I think you're set for life. Seriously, what a graphics card for that price. It will do any 1440p gaming, and it'll do 4K gaming as well. It can do anything, and that's an amazing price. And then the last deal that really shocked me for graphics cards before I show you guys some more that weren't as crazy is that we can now get the Radeon RX 7900 XTX at the lowest price I've seen it so far on Newegg.com for $909. And that is the ASRock Phantom Gaming Edition card. It's gonna be really close to 900 bucks. It's a good version of the 7900 XTX. Need I say more? This graphics card, I mean, the 6800 XT can do it all, and the 7900 XTX just has I don't know what to say. It's stupid fast. It's ridiculously fast. I don't know who needs a graphics card this fast, but there you go. $900. You should be set for 2 lifetimes with that 7900 XTX. Now here we have some graphics card deals that didn't put me into the coffin because they're great, but they weren't like shockingly good. And one of those, for instance, is the Power Color Fighter Radeon RX 6650 XT, $220. This is probably the lowest I've seen a 6650 XT go for, and its price to performance is going to be really spectacular. I just don't rate it super high because this is a basic Power Color Fighter Edition card. It doesn't look spectacular. When I think of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I think that you can get higher end AIB cards for a cheaper price or the same price as an entry-level AIB card. So seeing this at $220 will definitely get you the performance. I just wish it was a higher end model of the 6650 XT so it could look cooler. But here's another graphics card that will absolutely nail it on the head when it comes to price and performance, and that's going to be the MSI Mech RX 6750 XT with a $30 off coupon code. Puts that at about $322. That is cheaper than what I expected for my GPU recommendation guide for the month of November, where I expected this to hit as low as $330, but now you can get it for close to $320. And yeah, this is also a very, very good deal. I would definitely consider it if you want a 1440p gaming graphics card that can do it all, and put a nice undervolt on this and you'll be able to keep wattage and temps well in check. Now, as predicted, the RX 6800 did go on discount. You could pick it up right now for $370. The XFX Speedster Swift 319 edition graphics card, I believe, is a slightly higher end version of their typical RX 6800. So this should be a little bit faster, and for that price, it's got 16 gigabytes of VRAM. Need I say more? It'll do 1440p gaming and a bit of 4K gaming on the side. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a better buy than an RTX 4060 Ti. It's going to be a better buy than an RX 7700 XT. I think Radeon and AMD are just trying to empty out all of their previous generation stock because they need to go and make room for their next generation, or I should say, their next upcoming mainstream graphics cards, like the 7600 XT and potentially others. So this is going to be on its way out, but it's still very much up to date in 2023. Now here's an NVIDIA graphics card deal that I would personally put my seal of approval on, and that is you can get an RTX 4070 from Zotac for $515. That is the lowest I've seen an RTX 4070 go for. And although you're getting a basic edition 4070, you don't need that big of a cooler to cool off a 4070 because one of its strong suits is its low power draw. So yeah, I think that's good. And you get Alan Wake 2 with it as well. For a 4070, you don't want to go on any other card other than this, I think, for Black Friday. But here's a deal that kind of surprised me. Zotac is bringing out an RTX 4070 Ti for $730. I wasn't expecting this graphics card to go below $750, but here we are. You can get it for $730. And if you were looking into a RTX 4070 Ti in this price range, this is probably the best price you're gonna get it for. So not too bad, Zotac. But on the opposite of that, we have the ASRock Phantom Gaming Radeon RX 7900 XT. I really like this graphics card because it offers a lot of value in this upper graphics card price range. Comes with 20 gigabytes of VRAM. It can do all 4K gaming of all sorts. But surprisingly, the RTX 4070 Ti that I just showed you was cheaper than this. So once again, do you want a graphics card that will be faster in terms of raw performance, is going to perform better in higher resolution games because it has more VRAM, or do you want a graphics card that's going to be better for ray tracing and utilizing NVIDIA specific features? Because both have their pros and cons, but fortunately both are available for some very good prices. Now processors, and my goodness, you can pick up a Ryzen 7 7800X3D with a discount code for $360, but if you pay with using ZIP1111, you can get this processor, I think, for around $320. And that is the lowest you will ever be able to get a 7800X3D. And need I say more? I've used that at least like 3 times this video, but it is the fastest gaming processor on the market for most PC gamers. it is for its lowest price that I've ever seen it. If you're looking at building a Ryzen 7000 system, just jump straight to this. There's no other better Ryzen deal than this right now on Newegg. Because when it comes to Intel, let me tell you, so already this 12600KF for $140 is a very good price. However, if you shop on Newegg's TikTok shop page, you can pick this up for $120. That's scary good. If you wanted an i5 processor, this is it. But just make sure you shop through Newegg's TikTok shop. And the same goes for the 12700KF, although it listed at $200 on Newegg's website, you can pick it up for 180 bucks through Newegg's TikTok shop. All you need to do is install the app, quickly make an account, pick this up, delete your old account, and well, bam, you save yourself $20 with maybe like 5 minutes of effort. Again, if you're looking for an i7 processor, especially as an upgrade from say an i3 12100F, that is it. But I think there's an even better deal. You can get the i5 13600K through Newegg's TikTok shop, not through the desktop website, for $250, and that is the cheapest I have seen a 13600K so far. And that's not the KF, that's just the K. So it comes with integrated graphics. And that is the ultimate upgrade for anyone who's on an i3 or last generation i5 processor and wants realistically a CPU that is more than capable for gaming and has those extra few cores and threads to like future-proof you a little bit. And now that leads us to motherboards. And there's a few, and I've picked out one motherboard from each category that I find to be pretty good. So for instance, on the Intel B670 chipset, we have the Tough Gaming B760M Plus from Asus, comes with Wi-Fi, 120 bucks. People have already ordered this motherboard quite a bit, so I pick it up while it's here until it goes, or hopefully before it goes out of stock, because at $120, this is the best B760 motherboard deal right now on Newegg. And that is more than appropriate for any of the processors that I just showed you, although maybe I'd fit that 13600K on a Z series motherboard, which I'm gonna show you now. Here is the Gigabyte Z790 UD AC. This is a Z790 motherboard, so you can overclock any K series motherboard, and it comes in at a really excellent price of 160 bucks. And this motherboard is among three that is $160 and is also a Z690 motherboard, Z790. Just this one has better VRMs and it includes Wi-Fi. Whereas the other two either had good VRMs, no Wi-Fi, or had Wi-Fi, but not as good VRMs, whereas this includes both. So this will handle any of those Intel processors that I just showed you and can even overclock them as well. But now if you wanted to build an AMD Ryzen system, especially if you wanted to build it on the new Ryzen 7000 socket, once again, the ASRock B650M Pro RS in white is going for a really nice price of $125. The original ASRock B650M HDV is like the standard for budget B650 motherboards at its MSRP of $125. And this is more or less the same motherboard, but with Wi-Fi, comes in white, and it features more 5-volt ARGB headers on the motherboard. So it's got a bit more versatility, more uses to it, and it looks cooler. And its performance is going to be very nice for its selling price. It's just, it happens to be micro ATX. So if we want something that's ATX, once again from ASRock, we can pick up the B650E PG Riptide that comes with Wi-Fi for $180. This is a full-sized ATX motherboard. It is a step up from the last motherboard I just showed you because it is a B650E motherboard that will be able to handle slightly higher end processors. So if you maybe had any sort of worries on plopping in like a future Ryzen 8000 or even 9000 CPU into this motherboard, shouldn't have an issue with that. And maybe just about the only downside is that it's all black in a weird kind of black and blue color scheme, but maybe some of you guys will be into that. But the price is right. That is really appropriate for a B650E motherboard, especially if you don't plan to really overclock your Ryzen processor, which isn't necessary for most processors nowadays from AMD. But if you did want to overclock it, this is probably the best motherboard that can do it at a price that isn't crazy high, but is on a nice discount. Here we have the ASRock X670E Steel Legend. This one, kind of like that Gigabyte motherboard that I just showed you from the Intel socket, has the best between offering Wi-Fi and offering good VRMs at its price of $260. This features a 16+2+1 phase design, so you're able to handle not just some of the best Ryzen processors right now, but potentially some in the future. So this should have some decent socket future proofing on it through those really nice VRMs. And it also looks sick as well. So if you wanted to build a white system around this motherboard, you can totally do that at a good price of $260. And it's again, an X670E board, not an X670 motherboard. So you are getting a bit of a step up. Then for RAM, I mean, it's not crazy. For DDR4, this is the only deal I'd really look at, which is this Team Group Vulcan series kit of RAM, 32 gigabytes, DDR4, 3600 megahertz, cast latency of 18. This is at an all-time low price, so if you wanted to step up your RAM game for your DDR4 system or build a new DDR4 system with 32 gigs of RAM right off the bat, that's for a really good price. But for DDR5, we do have some nice discounts, like on this Team T-Force Delta kit of RAM, 32 gigabytes, 6000 megahertz, and with a cast latency of 30. That's important. There's a lot of RAM kits that are DDR5 that have these high speeds, but the cast latencies are high as well. And what you want to get is a RAM kit with a high speed, but a low cast latency. And this is probably the best kit I found on Newegg that offers the highest speeds with the lowest cast latency at the best price. And the same applies for this next kit of RAM from G.Skill, but this time it's 64 gigabytes at a price of $195. Not bad. Once again, 6000 megahertz, cast latency of 30, pretty good RAM deal. Then for SSDs, there's only one SSD that I'm really crazy about, and it's the same SSD that I pointed out in my previous Newegg Fantastic video from last month, and that is the KingSpec XG7000, TLC, PCI Gen 4.0, really high read and write speeds, and features DRAM, and it offers some of the lowest storage per dollar metrics. At $85, you can get a 1 terabyte SSD with all of the high-end premium features of a higher-end M.2 SSD, just at a lower price. And the same applies, I think, maybe even better more so, on the 4 terabyte model at $172. Actually, no, you can get an additional $15 promotional gift card. I'm not sure if that applies to this purchase, but for 4 terabytes at that price with all of those aforementioned features that I just talked about, making this a high-end M.2 SSD, it's going to be the end-all be-all if you wanted to store your entire Steam library onto an M.2 SSD or have a reliable M.2 SSD you can constantly read and write to. Then for power supplies, they're kind of mid. Enermex has some decent deals only because they're offering a $10 rebate card on some of their higher end power supplies like the Revolution DF2. Here we have an 850 watt model, 80 plus gold, fully modular, PCI 5.0 ready for any of those higher end RTX 4000 GPUs, and you can get it with a rebate for $80. Pretty nice. And I've used this power supply before, and for the 1050 watt model, once again, with a $10 rebate rebate card, you can get it for $100 on the dot. But cases is actually kind of lit. I don't know why Fantex decided to put their G300A with one fan for $35 with a $5 off coupon code, but I'll take it. I built in it, it's a nice case. I don't know why they're putting it at $35. Oh wow, if you wanted an ATX case, a spare one or one for a super budget computer, there you have it. Although here's a nicer case from Be Quiet that I am a fan of, that is the Pure Base 500DX in black, and you can get this for $80. And it comes with USB Type-C as well, which is another added bonus. But here's a case I didn't expect to already see go on discount, and that is the brand new NZXT H6 Flow that just came out. Its MSRP is $110, so it's already $10 off, and it comes with an additional $4 off coupon code, making this $96. And that also applies for the full-on RGB fan version of the H6 Flow, where you can get this for $120. The performance is pretty good for kind of like a fish tank style PC case. And I personally am looking at building a future PC build centered around this case because for once, this is an NZXT case that I think is worth it. It strives a pretty good balance between aesthetics, performance, and cost while looking unique. So H6 Flow at this price point, kind of neat. Then for coolers, we've got quite a few. Here's the AK620, which you can get in either black or white. And with their respective coupon codes, you're gonna get them for about 52 bucks. I like air coolers. You don't need to worry about anything with them. They aren't gonna like fail on you like a pump would maybe in an AIO. And these are some beefy coolers, so they're able to handle any high-end CPU really. But if you wanted a water cooler, Deepcool is also offering their LT720 360mm AIO for about $6 in black. If you wanted really nice performance with a nice looking cooler that doesn't have a ton of RGB barf on it, then this is it. But if you wanted something in white, Cooler Master is offering a Master Liquid 360L Core White. Although I think the Deepcool model technically cools better than this one, don't quote me on that. But this one comes with all of the cool RGB colors in white that you'd want maybe for like an H6 flow-based build that I just showed you guys previously in the case section. Then for pre-builds, there are only 2 pre-builds that meet the Scattervault seal of approval. One of those is a budget pre-built that you can get not for $720, but if you pay with using Zip, you can get this, I think, for about $640. And it comes with an i5-12400F, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, a 500 gigabyte M.2 SSD, and an RTX 3060 12 gigabyte graphics card, which I'm not a fan of that graphics card, but in this computer, it's a very cheap price. My $600 custom gaming PC build from this year would not outperform this. So yeah, this pre-built is a good deal. It's a very good budget pre-built deal. Certainly one of the better ones under $1,000. But over $1,000, I'm pretty pleasantly surprised to see yet again another ABS Stratos deal, but this time on a system that comes with an i5-13400F, 32 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, and an RTX 4070 for right now $1,250. But once again, if you use that Zip discount code, I can't do the math in my head, but for under $1,200, getting a pre-built with a 4070 and an i5 processor is better than custom. Yeah, I cannot see myself assembling a custom gaming computer with those same components without going up in price. So yes, that is a good pre-built deal. It gets the Scattervault seal of approval. Hey, and I think we've made it till the end. Woo! I gotta edit this video now and push it out by tomorrow. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. I don't always do deal videos, but when I do, I try my best. And if you appreciate that, I would also appreciate a subscription to the channel, as I will, always make more of them when the time comes. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and this is the Scattervault channel, signing out.